'cause I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man. Across the deserts bare, man. I've breathed the mountain air, man. I've travelled, I've had my share, man. I've been everywhere. Been to Tullamore, Seymour, Lismore, Malulabar, Nambour, Roochdore, Kilmore, Moolobar, Birdsville, Emmaville, Wallaville, Connewanna, Connewanna, Strathrown, Proserpine, Alladala, Darwin, Gingin, Nilliquin, Muckilla, Wallamilla, Bougainville, Cumberland, Ramakilla. I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere, man.
Yeah, Lucky Star, he's been everywhere, man. It is 12 minutes to 11 o'clock, and as we always do at this time of the day, we head somewhere in regional Australia. Today we're going up to, I think we would decide, is it North Queensland or far North Queensland? The person who will know the answer to that question is Jane Roberts, and she's in Airlie Beach. G'day, Jane.
Hello, Neil. Good to hear your voice. And
yours also. I was just saying to Rob off air, and we should tell the listeners as well, we were doing the mathematics here. In 1968, I walked into a classroom at the Beverly Hills Primary School, and you and I were in the same grade in grade 1, and here we are 30-odd years later chatting on the wireless. Who would have thought, eh?
I know. Life is strange, isn't it?
Isn't it, though? So tell us, Airlie Beach, is it North Queensland or far North Queensland?
I would say North Queensland. I think if you say far north, you're talking Cairns.
Yeah, I think the Townsvillians like to be FNQ as well if they can.
And Townsvillians, exactly.
Yeah.
We're about an 8-hour drive from here to Cairns. So, yeah, they're far north. We're probably north.
Yeah. Wow. So give us your nearest reference point for people who are not exactly sure where Airlie Beach is. Mm-hmm. North and south from where you are, what are the big cities either side of you?
We've got Cairns up north and Townsville, of course. Mm-hmm. Then below us we've got Mackay. We're considered the heart of the Great Barrier Reef, so we're situated about in the middle of the Great Barrier Reef.
Last time I went to Airlie Beach, I was in the passenger seat of a fuel truck that was filling the barge that went across to Hamilton Island. Does that sound right?
Wow.
What a perfect segue to my next question. Here's Neil selling fuel and destroying the planet.
Yeah.
And there you are living on the Great Barrier Reef. We get lots of stories about what's happening up there. Please, bird's eye, on-hand, first-hand view. What is going on the Barrier Reef with climate change activity?
Oh, well, I guess everyone's very concerned about what's happening up here. One of the major things they're looking into is the corals and trying to protect our reef by growing more coral and finding species that are resilient to temperature changes. The other thing, of course, is too the seagrasses, which are terribly important, and the mangroves, because they are the nurseries for all the animals that live here. So lots of research is being done. It's still very new, but there's amazing people working on it to try and get resilient corals growing, and also a lot of damage was done when Cyclone Debbie hit our coast in 2017. So it's still rebuilding and getting back to what it previously was like.
If you want to destroy a pleasant dinner party down at this neck of the woods, just bring up climate change and you'll divide the population immediately. But up there in amongst an area where there is concern, what's the community attitude? Is it a case of some are concerned and others don't think that climate change exists?
Yes, I think you're right. I think up in Queensland, one of the things we've found is that there are a lot of people who, like Queensland's still really into the mining industry. A lot of people work at the mines up here, a lot of permanent residents, so they often have a week on, week off at the mine, so that's their livelihood. So you get that side of the coin where people want to keep their jobs, and then you've got a lot of people like myself who have retired up here. So we don't have that worry of having a job, and we're more concerned, I guess, for the environment. Having said that, though, you've still got the people who are in the tourist industry who are very, very concerned with climate change and the pristine environment and keeping it that way. So I think more people are concerned and want the best for the Great Barrier Reef than there are people who don't care.
I think the most concerning thing you just said then was that you've retired, which means you and I are the same age. Therefore, I'm at retirement age. That's just rocked me a little bit because young Jane Hastings that I knew when she was 17. Now I'm feeling really, really old. So you're also involved, and Rob will be interested in this, also involved in turtle rescue.
That's right. In fact, today is my shift. I'm both turtle responder. That means that should somebody from the public ring in on the wildlife line that they've found a turtle that's in distress, then they ring a person who coordinates the turtle responders, and I'm one of those.
You become Dr. Jane.
Hey?
Dr. Jane.
Dr. Jane. So then we go and we see if we can rescue a turtle, and then it goes to the Turtle Rescue Centre, and that's here in Airlie Beach. A lovely lady called Libby Edge, she started it all up, and she's a qualified turtle rescuer, and the turtles go there. And so also we have people rostered on to look after the turtles, and at the moment we've got two turtles in. One of them is called Henry, and he's quite a young turtle. He'd be about 10 years old. And the other one's massive, and he's about 80 years old, and he weighs about 100 kilos.
Sounds like Rob.
Yeah, very, very similar.
I would have thought, though, the great thing about...
He moves quicker than me, though.
I was going to say, the great thing about looking after turtles is they're not going to escape.
Well, they don't. Yeah, they can't escape, that's for sure.
Okay, hang on. I've got an obvious question here. Why the turtles that you're saving and not other animal species? Are they in serious danger?
Well, they've got specific needs, turtles. We also can rescue other animals like dugongs and things, but they often don't get found alive, I guess. They're more specific. But where I'm working, Libby's got all the qualifications to look after turtles. But I'm also involved with wild rescue of other animals as well, but I haven't been actually called upon for that at this point. But the turtles, these ones that are in at the moment, one of them has been had boat strike, so it's got a bit of damage on its shell, and it just needs some time to recuperate and she'll give it antibiotics and just give it time to get its strength back, and then it'll be released again. The other one I'm not so sure what is actually wrong with Henry, but anyway, we are feeding them and trying to fatten them up so they can be released.
So people who are listening to this in the cold climes of Melbourne and Geelong, you spent some time in Pambula, I think we can tell people that, and then you moved to where you are in Airlie Beach. The obvious question every Victorian would ask you is, does it get hot? Does it get humid?
Well, it does. So the best time to come up here is really between April and September. And just to give you an idea, today I'm in my shorts and my T-shirt, and it's a 24 degrees. It's not humid at all now, and it's just really the best time of year to come up and get away from all that cold down there that you have. Like, my mum lives down there, and she said to me the other day that they had 12 degrees as your top temperature or something.
Yeah, that's all right. That's normal. It's actually quite mild, really. The last couple of weeks, we're getting to 15s and 16s during the day, but it's only down to somewhere between 7 and 10 overnight. So it's not unpleasant at all at the moment.
Oh, well, it's actually really lovely now. And, like, we've got very light blankets on the bed, and I didn't need that last night. I just needed a sheet. So it's still warm.
Yeah, we woke up yesterday, I think it was, and it was 3 degrees in Geelong. So we do get the cold ones. But no, I would have thought that there would need to be, if someone said, look, I'm coming up for 2 weeks, this would be the time of the year. If they were looking to move up there, they would need to build in the fact that there's probably 2 or 3 months a year which are pretty hot, pretty humid.
That's true. And also it gets cold. So one of the pleasant things actually I've discovered up here, I thought it would be hot all the time. I just thought we're in wet, dry climate. We don't get seasons, but we do.
Okay.
It gets cold. It can be cold here. In July, we had a particularly nasty day, which is about 12 degrees, and it was cold. And So if you came up now, people say, what would I bring up in clothing? Well, you do need to bring up a jumper because it does get cool at night.
Okay, well, we have been warned.
All right, I'm coming. I'll be up. I'll be up in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, you'll notice he's 100. He's 100 kilos and 80 years of age.
Yeah, I'm easy to find.
Yeah, but if they ring and say go and rescue him, no, don't.
Yeah, and please, if I'm looking well one morning, don't put me out back into the wild. I'd struggle.
Yeah. Jane, always great to have a chat to you, and great to finally get you on the radio. I've been chasing Jane to have this conversation for about 8 months.
I know. I look back on our messages and I'm thinking, I'm ashamed.
No, always worth the wait when I have a chat to you, Jane. All the best to the good folks of Airlie Beach. We'll chat soon.
Absolutely. Good on you, Neil.
Thanks, Jane. All the
See ya.
best.
Bye.
Rob.